Wee! How's it going? Just doing a quick setup. Hey, Pietro and Oliver and Valtteri, what's up? Where's my pick? Where is the pick? There is the pick. How do I start practicing sweep picking? I've had some patterns, but they didn't seem good. Hey, Nico. I think you should start off with pretty much, I guess, the most simple patterns. But in the end, what you really should do is learn pretty much all of the patterns if you want to be very versatile in your sweep picking. And what I'm doing at the moment is kind of practicing the shapes that I'm not that familiar with, or those different kind of chord inversions, arpeggio inversions. But you could start off with something like perhaps this. So that's just an well, you can, that's in a D minor, and you can just play the frets. For example, in D minor it's 17, 13 on the E string. Then you have 15 on the B string, and then 14 on the G string. Yeah, Deathlock. I want to play Infant Annihilator, but I'm a noob. GG. You can do it. Just practice the notes on a slow tempo, and when you run into like a problem area in like a riff or something, like a certain part, then just practice that one part instead of like don't just practice the whole song, because there can be like of course you need to learn the whole song, but after a while, if you have only like 2 problem areas in the song, just focus on those instead of like grinding the song from beginning to end, because you get much more repetition for each difficult part if you just isolate them. Wait, how long have you had 19k subs? For a while, I think. Hey son, can you show an example? That sounds like very nice. Tabs, please. I can actually I can send you tabs for that, but it's actually pretty simple. So it's 17, 13 on the E string. Then 15 and 14. And you want to start that at the highest note or the lowest note, so you get like a certain pattern from that. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Or 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So you can practice that on top of a metronome as well. And yeah, you can of course add to that later on, like you can add lower notes. Which is just, you know, but I think you should start off with 3 strings first, and then look at kind of that whole thing, whole package. And you want to make sure that the right hand, you know, the pick is doing the right things when you're doing sweep picking. Because if you just pick them like a regular way, it's not really sweep picking, it's more like picking arpeggios. So for sweep picking, you want to do it so every time you pick the, like in this shape, you pick the 14th fret. When you pick it, you want to pick already go rest against the B string. So it's kind of a smooth sweeping motion. And if you just pick them one by one, you're not gonna be able to do that very fast. I was very surprised that you played Deadlock. You should do hardest Deadlock songs, or they are too hard for you. Oh, that's a nice method I've heard before. Let's see when I get the chance to do more YouTube videos. I was thinking of focusing on lessons and stuff like that for the near future. Of course, I'm gonna finish the Pantera collaboration when I get the clips for that from the other guitar players, and 2 of the missing pieces should arrive today. But yeah, when I get back to like the regular medleys, Deadlock would be cool. This is like a thing I'm practicing with Chris at the moment. Is I'm doing this is like a leading tone thing in D minor. So I'm doing an A major arpeggio, and after that D minor arpeggio. So that gives it like a nice kind of a half step, kind of like a harmonic minor vibe. But yeah, tricky stuff. We also took a look at some pretty awesome diminished 7th arpeggios or something like that. Buckethead hardest songs on lead guitar. Yeah, sure. And that Patreon collab that should be started after the Pantera video. Yeah, sure. I'm kind of if that's something that you can actually start working on, we can just finish it at almost any time you want. I kind of have the riff for that, so I think Kirk probably could kind of do the finishing touches for the composition. But we can talk about that in Discord, of course. Yep. Damn, those sweeps are pretty hard at the higher frets because your fingers don't have too much space in there. Winter Sun, Death and the Healing. Pretty monstrous sweeps there. I'm kind of focusing on at the moment learning the different shapes, and after I got those down, it's gonna be much easier to learn like pretty much any kind of chord changes and patterns. So right now I'm just doing kind of learning the different inversions for minor and major. Can I do something? Rings of Saturn. What's up, Filma? F1 LMA. I don't know any of their stuff, but yeah. If there's something like a hard part in their repertoire, we can take a look at that, and I can give you some tips. Patrick Simmons made good sweep tutorial, and he's a monster at sweeping. Oh yeah. These are kind of I'm learning the way that Chris Broderick showed me, like different things I'm focusing on the sweeping, so I'm kind of going with that. Serrana by Jason Becker is a good exercise. Yeah, we actually talked about that too with Chris, because that's like a one I really want to learn, but we are kind of approaching it in a way that I kind of learn how to use different patterns in different places, so that way if there's like a song I want to play, I can just, you know, use my knowledge, which I have practiced already, to play pretty much any song. So instead of like practicing a song with like certain chords, we want to be kind of moving around the chords and inversions that I practice. And then when it comes to learning the song, I just kind of put these different inversions and chord progressions into place, and I can just play those songs. But yeah, there's quite a bit of practicing to do for the sweepy sweeps, but it's going pretty damn well. I've only practiced these like shapes that I've never actually got down for only like a few weeks now. There was some really cool like a sweep exercises which I didn't show, but these are like, I think these were like diminished seventh or something. You know, pretty weird shapes, and I found those to be like really good exercises. I need guitar lessons. Well, you've come to the right place. If you're looking for metal guitar lessons. If you look for blues lessons, I can't help you with that, unfortunately. But yeah. Well, what about Obscura? I've listened of their like a debut album, but I think they were in D standard. So when I listened at that debut album, I really didn't like practice the stuff on guitar. Like the latest technical stuff I've learned is like the Diminished to Be by Necrophagist, but I'm still like kind of repeating the same riffs over and over, and not really haven't gotten to new riffs yet. So I've just learned kind of the one guitar parts for that Diminished to Be. Like Foog, my package from Thumman was supposed to come here today. They've tried to deliver it, but downstairs doors was number lock, and they aren't supposed to. Almost 3 hours and still isn't in the post. Damn. Yeah, I'm not sure how it works. It technically, I guess, could be in the post office, but maybe they haven't just checked it in, or kind of haven't. I don't know the English term, but haven't kind of made it in the system visible yet. You should see the last album, Diluvium. Damn. Yeah, definitely. I really like the debut album. That's always so tricky with the pinky kind of slide. Hey Coben, what's up? I'm doing fine, thanks. How are you, man? Have you tried Stab Wound? Yeah, it's really weird to play in E standard, but yeah. I kind of know the notes for the whole song, but the lead is the thing that's causing me trouble, but I haven't really practiced it like too much. I'm kind of focusing on other things, but yeah, I think I should be able to get that down. It sounds so wrong in E standard, but yeah. And they didn't give me any emails about this. Damn, that's unfortunate. It's weird that didn't they call you or something? Do we have to learn minors and majors to play a song? Not necessarily. Like if you want to learn how to play guitar, you pretty much you don't need to know any theory, but if you want to write stuff, you want to understand the music and you want to do it yourself, then it's definitely useful that you know what different things are called. So, and you can kind of that's gonna be like a really useful thing that you learn at least the basic theory, because that helps you to understand the music way better. What was that song he was playing? I know I've heard it from somewhere. That was Stab Wound by Necrophagist, at least in E standard. But yeah, I don't have any idea about minors and majors. you could make like a bad joke about that, but you know, you have no idea about minors or A minor. Minor. I'm actually in the beginning of learning and want to do my own music. Can you tell me from where I can learn some theory and do to suggest guitar teachers? You can learn the basic theory by, like, I would just suggest to go. It all kind of depends on where you are at right now, because like and about guitar teachers, I of course think it's really useful. I'm taking guitar lessons myself. I teach people, and it's like having, you know, your own personal trainer who can answer your questions, and if you're not sure where to go, he can kind of show you that. So like how I go on with teaching theory to my students is it's more about what are their goals, and I kind of structure the theory so there isn't kind of that kind of useless information on the way. So you just learn kind of the basics and basics for what you need to learn in order to understand. Like for example, if you want to write like death metal stuff, you don't need to learn like every kind of a leading tone and inversions and stuff like that. You just kind of the main things are like understanding harmonies and intervals, you know, stuff like that. And you know, when you understand harmonies, you kind of pretty much modes are just kind of because it's kind of a wide topic. So without knowing you're playing too much, I'd say that you should start off with just learning the modes of C major, and just not just playing the notes, but understanding how each mode works, like what makes it sound certain way. So when you play a mode, let's say the modes of C major, when you play like an A minor, you want to have like a mental note that this is the root note in that. So you can do that by playing the open A string. So you kind of hear that it's a minor scale. But if I would play like an A, let's say A Phrygian scale, you kind of have that reference to your ear, that you know what you are kind of, you're not just listening at the individual notes, you're kind of visualizing that how they relate to the root note. So that's kind of the main problem when people say they can't really hear the difference in modes, is they probably, if they play C major modes, they're just thinking about C being the root note. Because if I just play at the A minor position, but I have C as the root note, then it's just C major. So it's all about kind of how you use the modes and how you understand them, and that's how you can kind of make different modal sounds. And yeah, that will get you to understand like how changing one note in the scale affects like the sound of that. Yeah, Corey. Against speed pick, I think you only have to learn tabs. Well, you can pretty much like learn how to play any song by just learning from tabs. So it all depends on what you want to achieve in guitar playing. So if the only thing you want to learn is how to play songs, then you just should focus on like, okay, the problem with that is your tabs are a bit wrong. But you can definitely, like, if you have like reliable tabs, you can just learn any song from them. But it's still like, once you understand the basic theory, it's like it gives you like whole new depth to the music, because you understand how it's like formed. So it's not just like individual notes here and there. You kind of understand that, okay, so the songwriter was kind of thinking about this when he was writing this. He wanted to get like this sound, so that's why he used this scale and these different, little details. So yeah, short answer would be, if you just want to learn how to play songs, then focus on learning from tabs and try to make your playing sound as good as possible. So don't just kind of well, that's also if you want to become like a good at playing those songs. But if you just want to learn how to play the notes, then just look at tabs and learn how to play those notes and try to get it fast. But if you want to become like a really good and tight and accurate guitar player, then you need to focus also on like timing, also how your notes sound. So it's like a big difference how you play everything. Like, let's say just one note. Just like there's like so many different ways you can play one note. And if you just want to learn how to play like a song, like let's use like a simple example, like a Symphony of Destruction riff. You can play it in like a million different ways, I guess, but you should find out the way that sounds the best for you. So you can play it like without palm muting, let's say. Then you can add palm muting to that. Then you can go more in depth into the palm mutes. You can try to make them sound as good as possible. And you kind of start to add these little things that makes each note sound a little bit better. And that's how you can get like you get to be a really good guitar player if you practice that consistently. I don't mess with minors, please don't. That 1 week into learning guitar aside from chords, what else should I learn as a beginner? I should train my finger strength and speed early on, right? Yeah, definitely. And in the beginning, it's like also depending on your goals. But I think the most important thing is to have fun when playing guitar. So it's not like, even if you want to become like the world's best guitar player, which you can definitely be like insanely good if you practice. But even then, I wouldn't just start off by having like this, you know, crazy 5-hour practice routine, only practicing scales and finger strength and stuff like that. It's like important that you're having fun and have like some amount, like of course the more the better, but have like that kind of a focused practice in there as well for like that finger strength and speed. So you're not just practicing that, you also want to, you know, maybe jam a little bit, learn a few songs, and then you can kind of build your days for practicing guitar in a way that there's that practice which will get you the best results, but you also have that jamming in there which will keep it fun. So it's like good to have those both. And that's like the general approach to practicing. So there's of course like exceptions to the rule and stuff like that, but that's kind of the main place where you should start from. And then if you find out that you can practice way more, then definitely practice more, because the more you practice, the better you will be. But if you just practice too much and you get bored of the guitar and then you quit playing, then I don't think that's like that probably isn't the best way if you want to become really good. What else should I learn as a beginner? If you about learning chords, it's definitely useful. But if you want to play like thrash metal, like riffs, then you don't need to learn the chords. But it's something that that's like one of the things that people say, like, okay, you need to start with an acoustic guitar playing like this campfire song, so that's the only way to start playing guitar. But I found the best way to be just practicing the things you want to learn. And if you want to learn how to play metal guitar, then just, you know, start jamming and try to improve everything, like try to get better at some things. And once you find out like what things you need to improve on, then add those to kind of the regular practice schedule. Can you finger M? Damn, that is great. Damn great looking guitar. Yeah, thanks, this is awesome. That's when I remembered I don't even know the notes. 2 years into guitar now, only like 5 chords. I focused on down picking, palm mute, and alternate picking. And yeah, pretty much. I've talked about this with Broderick as well, and I have no idea about like chord inversions and stuff like that. But that's something I'm like at this point, after 10 years of practicing guitar playing, that's something I want to get into to get to the next level. But that's definitely not something that's like required to start playing metal guitar. Show us some vibrator techniques. I'm not sure if that's like an serious question. Vibrato techniques. Yeah, I can show you some vibrato techniques if you want, but you have to send me a vibrator if you want me to show. Nah. Yes. What is your bend exercise and legato exercise to warm up? Bend and legato exercise to warm up. I usually just, you know, do legato on scales and maybe some shred patterns, like. You know, simple stuff like that, just playing some scales up and down. And I usually warm up by just, you know, I just, you know, before grabbing my guitar, I try to maybe jump around a few times to get the blood flowing in my body, because that actually like has been proven to work as a very good warm-up for guitar playing, because the better the blood flows in your body, the better it flows in your hands. And then I just, you know, maybe start, you know, just doing some, you know, scale stuff. John Petrucci practiced 7 hours a day. Yeah, and of course, better you want to be, the more practice you need. But there's like I just said, that's like kind of like an exception to the rule, because he had that kind of he had his goals so important, so he could keep on practicing that much a day. But if you just kind of say to kind of a regular guy about, yeah, how much should you practice to become really good, I think the main thing is you want to improve, but you also want to have consistent improvement. So if you practice too much, it will like you might get bored of the guitar or something like that. But it's all about like individuals, so it's impossible to say what works for someone and what, you know, because everyone's different. So that's why private lessons are a good thing to check out, like individuals. I think Carrie has 15-inch vibrator at the back. Which side? Yeah, I have somewhere in the back, but it's not visible. Lynn, can you explain tuning to me? You mean like the frequencies, or like guitar tuning, just kind of the note names? Because I've looked a little bit into like tuning and the hertz, like frequencies, colliding and stuff like that. But can you be a little bit more specific? Yo, hi chat. Hey Dracul Domini, what's up? You have any suggestions in sweep picking when you have to roll a finger on the same fret but different strings? I struggle a lot with that. Yeah, we took a look at that with Broderick. It's kind of the way he described it was, because I'm also still learning that, to have it, you know, as good as possible. You know, there's still like some extra noise in there I want to get rid of, so I'm still learning that. But the way Broderick explained it, that you want to imagine it almost like you're just doing a bar. Just do a bar thing here and have a slight rolling motion to that. And when you have like let's say this shape, where you have the combinations of these bars and then one individual note in there, and then bar again. So you have 2 notes barred, individual note, then 2 notes barred. You want to focus that individual note, you have your finger like this. So the individual note isn't played like this. You want it to be kind of bent a little bit. Do you listen to Burzum? I've heard some of their stuff, but I don't like actively listen. Dunkelheit. Going to defecate. I'll be back soon. Yeah, thanks for the knowledge and information. Would you give 3 minutes to improvise over this Wounded Kevin MacLeod, please? It's a bit of classical. I think my copyright budget has been crossed. I'll try not to play like songs from anyone else rather than me and my guitar and my own videos in the streams, because I think YouTube doesn't really like when I play other people's songs. Hey Riemann, what's up? How's it going? By the way, how did the downpicking lesson help you? Could you explain how to sweep practice sweep with string skipping. Sweep with string skipping. You mean you combine like alternate pick string skipping with sweep picking? Or is that like string skipping with economy picking? It's a bit of classical. Yeah, no problem, Yaba. That's kind of an unfortunate thing, but I've gotten so many like this. Like after every string, when I played like songs from other bands, I got like 5 emails, like people claiming that, and didn't seem too good. Guitar tuning, because I don't understand anything. I just hear YouTube guitarists say, for example, D sharp or something like that. Okay. So if you have like E standard tuning, that means your thickest string is E. And then you probably know that you have like E, A, D, G, B, E. But that means E standard because everything is like in relation to this E on the thick string. And if you have D sharp or E flat, which is the same thing, it means that you change this thicker string's E to half step down to D sharp or E flat, whichever you want to call it. And that means that everything else, if you're in D sharp standard, let's call it that, you want everything else to be in relation to that D sharp. So that means if you go half step down on this string, you want everything else to go down half step as well. And if you have like a drop tuning, that means that, let's say in E standard, if you tune it to drop D, that means that you only tune down the thicker string by a whole step. So now it's in drop D, and everything else is in E standard, but you just drop down the thickest string by 2 half steps from E to D. And you can, if you wanted to do like a drop C tuning, then it would be kind of, the guitar would be in D standard, but the thicker string would be in C. Thicker string would be C. So drop tunings are kind of a, you can imagine it as a standard tuning, but the thicker string is just dropped down. Oi Tony, have you still watched my newest video? The Metallica one? Actually, no. I haven't had the chance to watch pretty much anything. I'm still grinding on Facebook ads and my funnel and the email thing and everything. So every time I do, pretty much goes to my students, which is awesome, and all of the rest of my time goes into pretty much everything around that, like the teaching. Hey Cobra the cat, just joined the stream. Welcome. I'm practicing with necrophagist sweeps. I practiced those as well, but I'm actually practicing the different inversions at the moment. Like A major, D minor, which is like a leading tone thing. And there's also like this, I'm pretty sure they are diminished 7th arpeggios. You know, those trickier stuff, but that's really good, I found, for the left hand. But yeah, it's going pretty well on the sweep practice. And yeah. Any guitar playing related questions? I tried to set up one day with Kirk like a stream where I could do like one-on-one like live lessons, but I still haven't figured out how to do it properly, so to get the audio and stuff onto the stream. But that would be really awesome, where I could just, you know, do some Skype calls or Discord calls and would help people out and people could watch that. But yeah, still haven't figured out how to do it properly. But yeah, maybe someday. This is a riff I've been really kind of warming up with lately. What Sepultura song was that, by the way? Was it? It wasn't Murder. Was it Subtraction? I remember one stream you playing Legion of the Serpent by the Faceless and you nailed everything, including the sweeps. Yeah, usually the Faceless, they have just kind of the certain inversions which they use for the sweeps, so it's pretty, something that's pretty, not really easy, but it's kind of a, more like a certain thing I only have to practice to pretty much play any, you know, Faceless stuff. You know, this one shape. You know that, which inversion was that? The second inversion. So pretty much, I think most of the Faceless sweeps goes with that shape. And with Necrophagist, it's I practiced the diminished to B lead a little bit, but it's like so weird groups and patterns in that. Ugh, something scary like that. Can I play a bit of that song in that tuning? Yeah, I guess so. This is, by the way, a really tricky part because they're playing 16th notes, so four notes for each. And also the slides are pretty tricky. And yeah, then you have the kind of the main riff. But yeah, you pretty much have only that one shape, and yeah, the chat seems to have disconnected again. So not good. I'm not sure if the stream also got cut off a little bit. Yeah, and that song is really awesome. Yeah. And still getting the red bar for the connection quality. Just as volume is low. Is the volume too low for the stream, by the way? Cool riff. Oh, thanks, Nico. That was just one of my own kind of a little exercise tech death riff, I think. It's kind of a finger twister. Oh no, exercises to the left hand. Show how you warm up your right hand before you practice. I pretty much do like well, lately I've been just jamming that Sepultura song. I can't remember what the name of that was. But I've noticed that when I've kind of relaxed my technique, I don't need that much warm up. So it's when I had like more tense technique, I'd need like a way better warm up, so I wouldn't start to hurt anywhere. But yeah, I'm kind of worried about the stream connection at the moment. Everything seems to be fine on this side. What's up, Death Void? But warming up the right hand, I also do like some, you know, string change stuff like. To get kind of a control for the right hand. I'm practicing step wound, it's really fun. The spider fret hand thingy. I really love those kind of chordy things that necrophagists are doing, or Zuimez is doing. Right hand exercises, but yeah, it's pretty much I pretty much just do the things I also practice on for the right hand warm up. I just start a little bit slower, so you necessarily. Well, I think you just joined the stream, but I also like do a little, you know, maybe jump around a few times before sitting here and grabbing my guitar to get the blood flow much better, even for the hands. So that's something I found really useful. Yeah, me too, especially the 7-song one. Haven't practiced the notes for that, but yeah, pretty much cool stuff in pretty much every song. I wonder what's the latest thing. I still haven't practiced the diminished P like completely, but I think the verse riff is also really damn cool. And that chorus riff is so damn good. Hey Steve Bully, what's up? I'm doing great, thanks. How are you, man? Diminished TV is my favorite from Epitaph. Yeah, my favorite probably is just the song Epitaph, because it's like so crazy and all over the place. And the chorus riff is like insane in that one. Are you using some kind of plugin at this moment? Yeah, this is Bias FX, and I'm just using a stock preset for USA Metal. Boost off, compressor on, and reverb off, and noise gate on. Fine, thanks, going to work soon. Oh, cool, man. Hope you have a great work day. I like Only Ash Remains. Yeah, I guess I should learn that intro. How did that go? Something like that, but much faster, of course. No problem, man. I love Epitaph too, but seriously, every Epitaph's album song is freaking fire. There's no bad songs. Yeah, that's what I think. Like, man, I've listened at Epitaph so much. Like, I still haven't like gotten really in depth with their first album, but Epitaph is something like, damn, it's like so awesome. And even just the beginning riff is like in the title song. Like when the two guitars kind of do the opposite thing there, it's like so damn awesome. I mean, the only songs that I don't like in Necrophagist Discovery is Pseudo-to-Pathological Vivisection and Immolation. I'm not even sure if I remember those songs. But yeah, I mostly listen at the Epitaph, and damn, that's so sweet album. Any more guitar playing related questions from anyone? Technique, theory. Have you heard to breathe in a casket? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I can't remember. I only can remember kind of the first song from the first album. Breathe in a casket. I'm pretty sure I get like some sort of idea of that song. Do you know Unleashed? And if yes, do you like it? I don't know Unleashed, unfortunately. I guess I'll be doing a little bit of that sweep picking practice, and feel free to ask anything guitar playing related. And you can also check out the metal guitar lesson series in the description. It's free. Swedish death metal. Oh, cool. Probably need to check them out. I usually sweep using the pick up on the lead sound. It helps sweeping better. So yeah, if you use like the neck pickup, yeah, it creates like a more like a bubbly sound for that, and you can almost create the similar effect if you just pick closer to the neck. Yeah, I usually like to use just a bridge pickup so I can kind of have a consistent tone, but I really love the neck pickup for like, you know, for like certain kind of Yngwie Malmsteen tone things. Even though he uses single coils, I'm pretty sure he uses single coils, but you can get like pretty cool like. That kind of stuff. Can you try to learn to breathe in a casket after you practice? I can check out the tabs now. How to know what pickup or bridge do you use? Well, you can hear from the sound that if it sounds like it has way more kind of a brighter sound, that's usually the bridge pickup, which is right here. Because if you think about the string, you can just do this without the pickup on. And depending on where you pick, you get a different sound. Like if you pick really close to the bridge, you get like this much more trebly sound. Of course, when there's compression and distortion, it's not that huge difference, but you can definitely still hear that. And yeah, for the neck pickup, it's usually you can just check out like have these. There's also different like 5-way switches or 3-way switches, or mine is like 5-way switch where there's like in the middle you have like combination of different pickups, but I don't really use that. And if I have it all the way down, it's just a bridge pickup, and if I have it all the way up, it's just a neck pickup. I just sweep using the bridge. Ah, okay. Let's see, the breathe in a casket. Neck pickup is more scooped in high gain distortion, I think. It's kind of a just what kind of sound you're looking for, but like I can't really think of situations where you want to use neck pickup in metal riffing. So most of the time you just want to have the bridge pickup, so you get much more. Yeah, the chorus is something I definitely noticed. Oh, alas, the one technique I'll never learn. You can learn that, I guarantee. Just if you want to learn that, of course, but just need practice, consistent practice. Hey, Manuel, what's up? I'm doing great, thanks. I have a feeling that these tabs might be a little off. But yeah, I need to listen to the original song and be in the right tuning, but to get because these time signatures in Songster tabs are just way off, so it's kind of not so easy to visualize the actual sound of the riffs. Love pinch harmonic riff in that. These tabs are really not helping me find that riff. Yukita tone have too much gain. It's more hard to clean the notes. Oh, thanks, I guess, if that's like about the muting. But yeah, I usually like to have like a pretty low gain sound, but it for some reason lately I've gotten into kind of a more gainy, I guess. But especially when I'm like the lower tunings I go into, the more gain I usually add, just for I don't know for what reason, but I think the entire song is chaotic. Is Article 13 going to affect your country too? Was that the meme thing or what was that? Have you ever heard the song? Yeah, I've heard. I've heard that there was this one riff I recognized. Yeah, this one. I have difficulty with mute. I don't think I actually have lessons currently for muting. I'm jealous of you. Well, if you want, you can of course start one-on-one lessons. We can take a look at that. But it's like there's usually different aspects that are causing the noise. So you need to kind of figure out which one of your hands you can use to mute. So usually this is like in general, there's of course like exceptions to the rule. Usually you want the left hand to mute the thinner strings and right hand to mute the kind of the thicker strings. Like when you play a lead part or something, usually the index finger is muting the higher strings and the right hand is muting the thicker strings. But then there's also like the two-hand synchronization, so your both hands are muting at the same time when you play like power chord. Do I practice legato? I practiced it a little bit in the past, but I'm more into kind of a picking stuff. But yeah, I mostly practice like, you know, some basic shred licks. You know, stuff like that, but I'm much more into picking, but that's just like the personal preference. Oh, thank you. What's your opinion about the band Atheist? I can't actually remember them at the moment. Your tone is kind of strange today, guitar tone. That's weird. I should be using the same exact settings as before. I think the output might be a little bit lower than usually, because I had to change that for like a lesson I had. Can you advise how to do those speed bursts using alternate picking, which you were doing during tremolo riffing? It's just practicing pretty much. That's just the way I've practiced kind of shredding, is to use speed bursts. So it's just, you have to pretty much just imagine it as like you're playing just one thing, which has like 6 notes. So it's just like one complete thing, and you just pretty much have to focus on the first note of that, and that only comes true after like practicing, so you get the muscle memory for that, and then you just can kind of think about the first note. Play some Exodus. What song? That's pretty much the only thing I can think of at the moment. Today it's really sloppy. It could be my playing as well. Thick and great. Today is really... It could also be that before, when I've done these... maybe the other guy's piece is infected by devil. Yeah, it could be that when I've jammed before like this technical death metal stuff, I've used like the D standard tuning, and that of course changes the sound even when I'm using the same tone settings. So that could be the thing. Because this is in E standard, I'm having 9 to 46 string gauge, so it's not like as, I guess, thick sounding as, you know, something like 10 to 52 in D standard. Lul. What do you think about band Heathen? Well, the song, was it By Inheritance? No, it was Hypnotized. Which one was that? Other was from Artillery. But I think it was Heathen Hypnotized. Something like that, but yeah, that one song is really awesome. Like, I think that's Hypnotized from Heathen. The coroner's guitarist does a lot of speed bursts during his riffs. It's difficult to figure out using ear. Thanks for the advice, though. Yeah, sure, no problem, man. And yeah, there's definitely lots of things that go into the... you can actually kind of try to isolate, you know, the right hand, what it does in the speed bursts. Because that's kind of the main thing if you're doing like 2-string, like 3 notes per string thing. So you really want to be aware of what your right hand is doing. This is just his practice tone. His feet are shot in wide range, stereophonic analog of the final. Yeah, that's how it goes. Then I go and collect the package now. Only took like 4 hours. Damn. Well, enjoy the Thoman goodies. Evolution of Chaos. Unfortunately, on the streams, I'm really not able to listen at pretty much any songs because I'm getting like so many copyright thingies. So I kind of had to stop listening to request songs. So that's, but I can definitely check them out after the stream. I think this could be for today's stream, and I'd like to welcome everyone, each one of 13 of you viewers, to join my private lessons, and we can get your playing to skyrocket to clouds. This album of Heathen. Yeah, sure. Can we copy strike? Damn. But yeah, I think I'm gonna actually practice the sweeps a little bit off stream and need to get something to eat. But yeah, everyone's welcome to join the private lessons. So see you on the next stream. And thanks everyone for joining. What package? What's in the box? But yeah, see you everyone. Thanks for joining.